Tua Tagovailoa and the 1-3 Miami Dolphins square off with Bryce Young and the 1-3 Carolina Panthers. This is a must-win game. No two ways about it. You cannot afford to drop this one and go to 1-4 on the season. And if you get the win in this matchup, you're 2-3 and one game back of 500. Let's start with the Carolina Panthers, who are off of an abysmal loss against the New England Patriots after they had a very nice game, the way that they played against the Atlanta Falcons, showing a lot of positives on the offensive side of the football and Bryce Young and running it, as well as taking the football away against Atlanta and shutting them out. And then last week, the regression in all phases in what was a game they allowed Drake May to look like Aaron Rodgers in his prime. That one, Drake May looked incredible. Carolina has to be better in the secondary. They will be tested by Jaylen Waddle. There are no two ways about it. Without Tyreek Hill, and I'll address that now, it's so tough to see such talented players go down in the season. Tyreek Hill is such a huge part of that Dolphins team and in that locker room and on the field as an impact. And you might be saying, oh, he didn't play all that great and have a huge role with this team early on in the season, but you can't be telling me that he's not still one of the top 10 most impactful wide receivers in the league in his burst. So it's a very tough to not have on the field. I'm sorry to see that and hope he has a speedy recovery and we can see him at the start of the 2026 season. But Miami, with Tua Tagovailoa, when he's in rhythm like we saw at times against the New York Jets, where there's protection around him and he can get the football out in rhythm, and he's a good football player. He is a good quarterback. He can throw the football accurately, on time, and get the ball downfield. Jaylen Waddle, I expect him to be a much larger role in this offense. He'll be squaring off with J.C. Horn. Very excited to see these guys go head-to-head. Both of them can flat-out fly now. J.C. Horn can run with anybody. He got paid all the money that he was definitely deserved. And this Carolina defense now, I still, again, I'll go back to that performance against New England and the way that I was disappointed. It wasn't just the way that they weren't able to defend the pass. It was limiting a lot of those plays to Stephon Diggs. I thought they would come out and take him away because it seemed like New England didn't have they had opportunities for other guys. May was getting the football to other players. I just thought they would have done a better job of taking Stephon Diggs away. So how did they come out and take away Jaylen Waddle and force the football to someone else like Darren Waller? Now, Carolina, they do have athletes. They invested in the trenches, in the rookie players. Do they need more production out of these guys going forward? They absolutely do. Deshaun Wharton comes over, and he needs to continue to play at a high level if they want to have a shot. Trevon Mulrig, he's an important player in the back end in the secondary. Nick Skelton from Texas A&M, they had high expectations drafting him highly. Princely Umar hasn't really shown up in the stat sheet at all this season. His playing time's been limited out of Ole Miss. So the young players at some point will have to step up for Carolina and be factors for this team going forward if they are to compete in what is a tough division. Even though you shut out Atlanta, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have shown how much talent that they have on that team offensively. This defense needs to show up to the test. This is a Miami team that can run the football well. I know they're 1-3 just like you guys are. Devon Achane is a speedster, and not just the ability to be handed the ball. He can be thrown it too. I akin his ability a lot to Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara in the sense of he's got good, reliable hands, consistent catcher, and able to quickly turn upfield, make a guy miss and pick up 5-6 yards after the catch. He's good for 5 to 6 targets a game and coming down with 4 to 5 of those. He's really a big weapon for Miami going forward. And so you can imagine that they will be going a lot more to Achane, a lot more to Jaylen Waddle with the absence of Tyreek Hill. Now for Miami, they have 2 of the top 3 tacklers in football. Now you can assess this in different ways. Jordan Brooks is at the top of the league, and then Tyrell Dodson is 3rd in the league in total tackles. Typically, you want to have a lot of tackles as a player, but also it means that your defense is out there on the field a lot and your offense is not sustaining drives, and the stats do back that up. This is the 26th ranked defensive team in football is Miami, giving up the 26th most yards. They're giving up 26th in points a game. They have not at all been good in the rankings as far as what their offense has given up, kind of back that up as well. I mean, we're talking about 26 in yards and 21st as points. Also, all those categories support a team with a 1-3 record, and a lot of the statistics back up what Carolina is as a squad. Now, Bryce Young, the year 3 leap, right? The expectation that the level of play from year 1 to year 2 gets better, and the expectation that year 2 to year 3 is improved. I'm going to give him a bit of slack. Some will say that it's not deserved for a year 3 player. He just hasn't had a lot of guys separating, getting open. Xavier Legette's been hurt with his hamstring injury. He was supposed to be that guy, right? The first round pick to be inserted into this offense and immediately be a major factor. Instead, there's really only one guy that he's throwing the football to, and that's Ted McMillan. And unfortunately, the main area of the field where you thought he would be the biggest weapon, inside the red zone, catching touchdowns, he hasn't found the box yet. No touchdowns yet in the career for Ted McMillan. That needs to change against Miami. He's an advantage every single time when he's down inside the red area, getting him the football because of his 6'5" frame, because he's 210 pounds. They need to target him in the red zone and find a way to get him one-on-one opportunities down there. I simply can't imagine that would have all been possible through the first month of the season. He doesn't have a touchdown yet on the year. They got to get him the football down there. It's just tough that they don't have a second wide receiver as of right now to have Tua throw the football to, get someone else going. That's been a major factor of what will limit Carolina unless Legette gets back on the field and is able to be that guy and no one else materializes. This is a Carolina Panther team that frankly doesn't have much of a ceiling higher than 6 wins. There's just too many talented offenses that will score so many points and defenses that have good corners that can line up one-on-one and be able to handle a McMillan. And then Bryce Young will continue to have to try and create with his legs, throw the ball up, try and make plays happen that particularly aren't there. So that's what stands behind only 60% completion percentage, only a 77% rating on the season, only been sacked 6 times. It's not like there's a ton of pressure in his face. He's got the ability to navigate the pocket, but I do think that a lot of that has to do with he just needs better players around him. There's a reason Carolina traded up to try and get Bryce Young at that spot, and they give away the future capital and DJ Moore, but can't imagine at this point that they thought that they would be gutting their roster to this extent of the limitations that they have. Now, Chuba Hubbard, I came into the season believing he had top 8, top 10 back potential because he is one of those players last year, I remember, that was able to find the end zone, to run away from defenders. Have not really seen the run game come alive. Why? Because these boxes can be stacked. Teams are not respecting the Panthers to attack down the field. If I'm Miami, I do the exact thing. I'm keeping 7 guys in the box. I'm making sure Jordan Brooks is going to go sideline to sideline with Bryce Young. He's that type of athlete. That's the guy he was in Seattle. And if you're going to try and push the ball down the field, I feel like Miami defensive backs can cover that, and I'm going to make you earn it throwing the ball down the field with Bryce Young. Let's take away Ted McMillan and the run and see if you can create somewhere else. That's exactly what the game plan is for Miami. And then if you're the Carolina Panthers, it's a little bit tougher because this is a team in Miami that has found a little bit more success running the football. And Achane is running it for 5 yards a carry on the season, and he does have an ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. So this Carolina squad does have a tough test. I think that Carolina gets the win in this game. They can find a bit more success on the ground. I want to see Bryce Young use his legs a little bit more as a weapon, a true weapon where he's attacking, getting him 8-9 carries to be that guy he was at Alabama that can immediately take off and scramble. For him to only have 10 carries so far on the season, I'm looking at it right now, 10 carries for 53 yards, and the touchdown he had on the scramble to Atlanta when Jalen Walker just flew by, came off of like his assignment, got pushed way up the field. He's got to use his legs. I think 8-9 carries, keep the football in his hands scrambling because he's such an effective runner and make it happen with his legs. I don't know what they're trying to do, keeping him as a pocket passer. That is not what he was at Alabama. That's not why he won the Heisman Trophy. So change a little bit of that. I think that has to happen. Otherwise, Bryce Young's ceiling is going to be limited because his ceiling of what had won him the Heisman was creating with his legs, getting outside the pocket, which we've seen him do, but taking off down the field. Like, I remember that the Jets-Dolphins game, Justin Fields would just take off. He sees an opportunity in a hole. He'd kind of hold on to it. Now he's like the coach, Aaron Glenn, you can tell is saying, man, you're one of the best athletes on the field. Take off and go get your yards. Go get 6. Go get 7. Go get the first down and more. And he's got an explosive touchdown run. I want to see more of that from Bryce Young. So I have the Carolina Panthers doing that a bit more often, able to take advantage and win this game 23-20. Expect this one to be a little bit ugly. Not two of the more quality teams in football. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Who winds up with the win? Does Carolina hold on, or am I wrong? The Dolphins will come out, get this win for their second in a row, and get to 2-3 on the season. If you liked this video, please subscribe for more football content. Blitz with Blender. I make NFL and college videos every single day. I appreciate you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more in the future, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.